All right, we are at the top of the hour. Welcome, everyone. This is how to achieve time, location, and financial freedom by market proofing your real estate business. I'm Mike Solitro from AccomplishedRE. I'll be your host today. I get asked all the time, well, what is this financial time, location, freedom? What does all that mean? And what do you mean by market proofing? Well, what it's not is we're not going to just say, well, you need to work more. That's not the answer. And we're going to talk about gaining or regaining control of your calendar. Ideally, spending less time in and on your business than you currently are. And we'll hit each of the time, location, and financial pieces, what they mean, what that means for you, and how we can work toward them, how they can be worked together. So first, I'd like to say real estate to me is a love-hate thing. I've had about almost 20 years in real estate, a bunch of different roles, and I absolutely love working in real estate. What I hate is that the market has such an impact on many of our colleagues' business. For a time, it impacted my business. When the market was good, business was good. When the market was down, business was slow. So I love all that real estate offers. I'm sure you love what real estate has brought to you. It's brought many opportunities to me, but I hate the fact that it's so tied to the market. So we want to talk about removing that tie, not allowing the market to dictate how your business operates and the success level that it achieves. How today works for today's workshop. Confidential and private. We are recorded. The recording will be sent out. So as you'll see, any comments and questions come directly to me. The Q&A is enabled, again, to me. But there's no chat, no sharing of emails, no publishing of who and where, who's on the workshop and where you attended. So no worries there. Confidential, private. Who is today for? We're geared toward real estate agents, but week after week, I am told that this is good material for small businesses, teams in larger companies, just some best practices for getting operations to where they should be. But we have a focus on that time, location, and financial freedom pieces. We'll get into each one specifically. So what does all that mean? If you hear or say things like, although I work all of the time and harder than I ever have, I don't make a consistent paycheck. So we're going to be talking about that financial freedom, that I put in systems into place in my business. I do certain things. I know that at the end of my pay period, end of the month, end of 2 weeks, whatever it is, I'm going to have a consistent paycheck because I know that certain activities yield certain results, certain outcomes. So we want specific and foreseeable outcomes, which leads to consistent income. I'm always working and have no control of my schedule. So this one we hear very often in real estate. It's Friday night, you just sit down to dinner with your family, or Saturday morning, you're going to the kids' game, you've got a date, you want some time for yourself, about to watch a movie, and there goes your phone, it rings, a text comes in, and you've got to answer it or reply because it could be a client, it could be a lead, it could be a hot prospect, it could be any of those things. So we're going to talk about, if you want to answer it, you want to respond at 10 p.m. or 6 a.m., whatever, that's fine. But setting ground rules so you have the ability to dictate when and where you work. So your clients know when you're available, when they can expect you, how to best reach you, and what the lines of communication should be, and what the rules of engagement for working with you are. Lastly, market determines the success of my business. So we talked about that up front with the love and hate aspects of real estate. We want to build a business that is market proof, that regardless of the market, we are going to have successful outcomes. That does not mean we do the same things regardless of the market. That means that our business will adjust, will adapt, will have different levers, income streams built into it for the market to leverage what works and to consistently be effective and efficient regardless of the market. So our outcomes for today. When we talk about time, that's control over our calendars, work when you want. So some of us work 6-7 days a week. If that's what we want, we continue doing that. Well, we want to be, again, effective with our time and efficient when we're working. If we want to work fewer days, how can we reach the same outcomes with less time in the office, on the phone, client-facing? What are our possible scenarios to do that for us? Our location. Collaborate with our core clients. Work where you want. This means different things to different folks as well. That could mean working in completely different geographies, different times of the year. I'm in New England, so some people want to exit stage left when the weather gets cold. So as that might be working in working in Georgia and Florida in the colder months, and then here in Massachusetts in the warmer months. It might be working in multiple counties within the state. It might be working multiple offices. It might be working one office, one neighborhood, whatever works for you. So time and location, dictating when and where you want to work. That financial piece. Two things that we focus on: dependable income through predictable outcomes. Each and every month, each and every pay period. Why or how we do that? So we know that if we run our business a certain way, we hit certain activities, certain milestones, deadlines, whatever you want to call them, benchmarks, we're going to have that dependable income. That does not mean we have the same earnings every week, every 2 weeks, every pay period, every quarter. It means that we can forecast it because some of our businesses are going to have busier times. So again, that summertime might be busy for you. You might have higher income, but you know it's going to be dependable. You can forecast what it's going to be, and you can outline what your 12-month, 6-month, 3-month forecast will be based on your business. My journey. Again, I'm Mike Solitro. Why should you listen to anything I have to say today? I fell into real estate almost 20 years ago now. First day, showed up, stack of papers. There were surveys on my desk and a telephone. I like to joke here that, I'm old, but I'm not that old. There should have been a computer. There should have been internet. There should have been a way for me to goof off and not rifle through those surveys. My job was to pick up the phone for each survey, because each survey correlated to a property or property owner, and talk to them about said property, what their vacancy rate was, what they were seeing as far as tenants moving in and out of the market, what they were charging, and so forth. So I wasn't in a sales role, but I learned that I was selling something because I was having conversations with these people. And since I knew absolutely nothing about commercial real estate or really any real estate at all, and my market was the southeast part of the United States. These are very nice people, but they weren't interested in talking to me because I had no information. So I knew that I had to have a reason for them to speak to me when we had this conversation, have an information exchange. So I quickly learned I was on the phone with their colleagues, competitors, people that they may not have access to. So information that I could disclose, that I could share openly, I did. And I learned that I was in the problem-solving business, that they had problems or they didn't have access to information that I did. So by opening those lines of communication and having a mutually beneficial conversation, I made my job a lot easier. I really fell in love with real estate and have had lots of different real estate hats since then. I heard a great thing in a workshop I was in earlier in the week, talking about Monday morning problems. So when I say we're in the problem-solving business, this is not just something minor that, hey, if we can solve it, great. Think about it as the Monday morning problem. When you wake up, first thing, when you get to your desk, something you thought about over the weekend, something that is front center, prime thing that you want solved. That's the problems that we want to address. That's how we're going to separate ourselves from the competitors, from others in real estate, and make a name for ourselves. So we openly want to solve the big problems. We want to identify them and solve them. We'll have a 5-step solution for that during today's presentation. As I said, a lot of different hats in real estate. I've been in corporate roles, legal, continuous improvement has been a common theme throughout, that I'm really good at what I do today, but I'm going to be better tomorrow, and that never stops. I view myself entrepreneurially, that I run a business. There's 3 tentacles to that business. I am a real estate attorney, so I help buyers and sellers with their transactions, with their contracts, purchase and sale offer at the closing table. Here in Massachusetts, as Massachusetts is an attorney state. I'm a broker associate with eXp Realty, so I assist buyers and sellers in that capacity as well. We'll talk about that toward the end of the presentation today. And then I'm a director at AccomplishedRE. My company, it's my baby. I work one-on-one with real estate agents to market-proof their business, to identify time, location, financial freedoms, which ones they want, how can we work toward all of them, and make their businesses work for them. For me, it was cultivating and leveraging multiple revenue streams, so that creating different ways to make money in different economies, different markets, with different skill sets that I have. So the market does not dictate what my outcomes are going to be. I dictate them. I determine which areas of my business I should focus on at certain times. So some of you might be thinking, well, that's great. You're an attorney, so you've got that avenue to make money. You can use that as an income stream. I can't do that. I'm not an attorney. Of course not. There are things that you're doing in your business that you can do more or less of, better, faster, quicker, more efficiently, more effectively today. Then hopefully today's presentation will help you identify them, put them into place so you can work when and where you want, and you can have those predictable outcomes for the standard income, so you'll know what you can expect to earn with the certain activities. And there'll be certain ways that you can leverage the things that you're already doing, or maybe tweak something that you're not yet doing, haven't considered, or tried, and maybe try a different way. So the goals for today, we've talked about it a lot. We're going to continue to tie strategies to time, location, and financial freedom. We do that by market proofing or having our business be resilient regardless of what the market is, having different income streams. And ideally, we want to focus on increasing profitability. That does not mean more profit necessarily. What that means is what we do brings in a higher return rate, a higher rate of return or high profit for what we're doing. We want to leverage our time the best ways we can. And the best way to do that is to get off of what I like to call the transaction treadmill. Often in real estate sales, agents will be concerned about finding a client. Once they find that client, they want to find that client a home, or if it's a seller client, they want to list that home, sell that home, get it to the closing table, and then done. Then restart back at the treadmill, find a new client. We must always be finding clients, attracting leads, converting those leads, and fulfilling what their needs are as clients, as buyers or sellers, investors, whatever they are going to be at all times. All three of those things must happen all of the time with likely equal gusto. If they don't, this is a non-starter. You will be on that treadmill and you will never have any of the freedoms that we talk about. And if you do, it'll be for a short amount of time. You must always be looking to bring in business and then serve or fulfill the business that you have. That's the principle from Michael Gerber's E-Myth books. Can't recommend them enough. There's a couple that are real estate focused, and his general E-Myth is amazing. So check those out if you haven't read them already. When I work with my clients, we're doing one, if not all three of these things. They want to grow, scale, exit their business. So they want to maybe increase the members of their team. They want to bring in more closings for the year, for the quarter, for the foreseeable future, or they want out. They want to sell their business, or they want to take a step back and just manage a team, run a team, have a couple offices if they're looking to scale. So those might be strategies that work for you. Any of those three, one, if not all of them, should apply to you in some manner. We want to look at our business as greater than any market. Markets are always going to shift. There's always going to be cycles. It's impossible to time them, and besides impossible, there's no way you're going to tell when you're at the top or bottom of a market until after the fact. So you want to build a business that is resilient, that you know when the market shifts, when there's cycles, that you've got ways to make money, A, B, and C, multiple different ways to leverage your income streams. Look at this as not just another job, not just my real estate job. This is your profitable business. You are a business. Even if you're part of a large company, even if you're part of a team, a corporation, you're a salaried employee, look at yourself as a profitable business. How can you be most profitable, most effective to that team? I highlight a story here recently. I listened to a Brian Tracy book. I like a lot of his stuff. This was the 10K consultant story. What it was there was a nuclear power plant somewhere in the U.S. that was running at about 20% capacity, losing millions of dollars a day in lost costs because one of their systems was not functioning at 100%. They couldn't tell which one it was because they had hundreds of systems, and it would take the employees at that power plant days, if not weeks, months, to figure out which of the systems they needed to address. So they called the number one nuclear power plant consultant to come in and address what was going wrong. He gets on the plane, lands, puts his little white lab coat on, comes in, looks at a few of the systems, takes out a sticky note, writes an Excel note, puts it on the system that needs to be fixed. He says, fix that system. Takes his white lab coat off, goes back on his plane, goes back home, and then he's done. The next day, the guy who runs the power plant gets a bill from the said consultant for $10,000. And the guy who runs the power plant's like, well, it's great that he helped us out, but he's only here for like 20 minutes, and all he did was put that X on the sticky note. So maybe $10,000 is a little bit too much. So he sends a note back and says, hey, can you itemize your bill? $10,000 seems pretty high for the 20 minutes that you were here. Can you itemize that? And he says, again, all you did was put that X on the sticky note. Sure. So he sends back X on the sticky note, $1. To know where to stick that sticky note, $9,999. I love that story because two reasons. One, it talks about having the expertise that power plant was losing millions a day. So the fact there's only $10,000 that they paid to have it fixed and not lose the millions shows that our value is well more than what we could earn hourly or what somebody might think is worth. And we shouldn't look at our time as exchange time for money. We have value. We have expertise. We provide value to others. What is it worth to them? So he clearly was worth the $10,000. He saved them millions. It was just opening their eyes to what he did for them. So hand in hand, it goes with the idea that we do things well, we look to improve, and we never stop improving. That's a mindset. Continuously improve, every day get better. Think about where you want to be 1 year from now and work backwards. How can I incrementally improve to get there in that 1 year? Approach and expectations for today. It's strategy and logistics, so high-level strategic thinking as well as the step-by-step tactics logistics. We are, while not completely even, we are a little more geared towards strategy, because to get to the logistics, the tactics piece, I need to know specifics of your business. So I can't tell you to do A, B, and C necessarily without having a more intimate knowledge of your business. So you know your business, leverage these strategies, and there's so many different sales tools, to tactic and logistical approaches that are available online for free as well. So check that out if that is of use. As you can see, we have a low production value today. I believe the material is high value, so not the greatest video effects or anything like that, but the information is valuable. So hopefully it's useful to you. Share it with somebody else who might be useful to. Make it accessible, so that's why we share it out. I strongly believe in a way versus the way. What does that mean? That we often hear about people that say, well, I did it this way and this is the way that it has to be. And if you believe in that, it's very difficult that this is the only way to do something. I don't believe in that at all, that there are more than one ways to accomplish something. And the reason for that is, the reason why it worked for that person or in their way is that there was a set of circumstances that were presented to them at that time. So it's hard to replicate what they were facing. We may not have the resources, the timing, the luck, the network they had, the market they had, or all of those things. So, while their way worked, there's probably a different way that will work for you. Maybe leveraging a lot of the systems, the ways the things they put into place. But just because somebody in your market did it this way does not mean that if you do the exact same thing they did, that you'll have the same exact results. So keep in mind, there are certain circumstances that need to be present that might have been present then that are not present now, or vice versa. So that's why we need to consider those circumstances and always have that there is a way to do things and not only a solitary way. Lastly, I've got systems listed here. In my 20 plus years, I've learned that people don't love talking systems, process, anything like that. But that's the foundation for any excellent business. So that is going to be the starting point for a lot of the frameworks that we discuss. Some quotes. I love these. Win and help win. The idea that we're doing something well, help somebody come to the level that you are on, who's behind you in either time, money, production. Somebody probably helped you along the way, mentored or trained to do that for somebody else. Under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion. You sink to the level of your training. That's why we train so hard. I absolutely love this one as well. That's why we do things like today's workshop. We're good, but if we say we want to get better, we have to work at it, because when problems arise, when there's stressful situations, we don't necessarily work at our top, our peak, or work at the pinnacle. We sink back to what our training level is. So that's why we need to always have these sessions, workshops, and any kind of training, any kind of resources, any kind of review, and then put them into place in our business so we can leverage them when the time calls. And then learn, live, and give. Learn what we talk about today, put it into your business, break what doesn't work, let me know, and then once you've got it, teach it to somebody else, give it to somebody else. All right, so what is AccomplishedRE? Again, that's me. That's my business where I work one-on-one with real estate agents to coach them on their businesses, work on ways that we can identify what's working in their business, help them get to where they want to go. So what are your goals? How can we get there? For the goals that you're not achieving, what are the problems? What are the roadblocks? How do we remove those? So we start with my 5 values. I'll hit on these quickly to make sure that we stick to time today. But these are the 5 things that I've identified that must be present for all of my collaborations. They are of utmost importance to me and for a client-to-client relationship to work. It must be valuable to my clients as well. So first, collaboration. We need to work well together. I don't care about who gets credit for what, whose name goes on what. We are in this together. We're moving things forward. So if you are competitive in that way, probably not going to work out. We want to collaborate. We want what's best for everybody involved. We're all in the boat together. Same with accountability. We can't collaborate if we can't trust, work with each other, knowing that if you say you're going to do something, you're going to be accountable and get it done. If I tell you that something's going to be done by noon tomorrow, it'll be done by noon tomorrow. And if that's not going to happen, we need to change that deadline. I will let you know well beforehand that, hey, we talked about noon. It's not going to happen. It's going to be 2 o'clock. Here's why. Here's what we're going to do instead. And I can be accountable because I have a drive to get things done well, and to always be performing at a level of excellence. And that's my level of excellence. I know that there's probably always going to be somebody better, or doing something at a higher level than I can do it. But for me, excellence means being at my best each and every day, and then always getting better, never stopping, never having the resting on my laurels, that I know that there's always room for improvement for myself. I've got trust listed last, but it's probably the most important. I've got it highlighted because there's a piece of trust in all of these. We need to be able to completely trust each other. Recently came across a trust equation, which I really liked, that dealt with your credibility. Do you do the things that you say you're going to do? Do you get the results that you talk about? Do you constantly show up? Do you connect with the people that you want to work with? And I need to have that in all of my collaborations. I expect people to trust me. I exhibit that credibility, that accountability, and all 5 of these values. So that's why I've got trust listed last, but it is the most important. So as far as action steps for each one of the frameworks we talk about today, there'll be an action step toward the end. So I suggest write down 3 to 6 values that you have. If you don't have any, start with 3. If any more than 6, it gets a little can get a little long. Any lower than 3, maybe you can add 1 or 2. So look till you have 3 or 6. And the reason to do that is what we talk about in the next framework, but we'll talk about now the 5 pillars of strategy. This is the way you want to think about anytime you're implementing a big picture goal or a strategy to your business. So if your idea is, I want to work in these markets, or with these types of sellers, or this is what's going to be important in my business for the next quarter. Here's my quarter target. This is the strategic way to think about it, and breaking it down to 5 basic steps. I've got plan and perform marked off here because for any of us who've worked in large corporations or in corporate America in general, we know that most companies are really good at planning and performing. Here's our plan for the quarter. Let's go out and execute. And then that's where we kind of stop. We're going to sell, think about it in terms of real estate. I'm going to sell 10 homes this year. We go out, we execute, we sell 10 homes that year. Was that good? Was that bad? I don't know. Well, actually, I sold 35 homes last year, so my plan wasn't very good. Or I sold 3 homes last year. It was really good, but there's no review. There's no looking back. Well, the market was really great, and it made sense for me to triple my results. Or the market was terrible, so it was okay that I took a step back. So first, prepare. That means getting the right people, the right resources, the right information, the right data, all of those things together before you make that plan. So you've got the information from last quarter, last year, you know what's forecasted. So you can have a plan or a target that makes sense with all of the information on hand, and have the right folks, if it's not just you, if you're part of a team, you're part of a brokerage, so you can have the right targets coming out of that plan. Once you have a plan, whatever's working for you with your plan, your goal setting, that's a different workshop, but I'm sure that there is a way that you have plans drawn up. If that's effective for you, continue to do so. And then perform, execute. What are you going to do? So your plan might be, I want to get 15 listings this year. Well, how are you going to do that? What is the number of calls you need to make? What is the number of appointments you need to go on? How many of those are you closing? What can you tweak in your presentation that might help get you more listings? So that's the plan and the perform pieces. And then review constantly. After each one of those listing appointments, what feedback are you getting? If you're winning the appointment, why are you winning the appointment? If you're not, what didn't go well? What can you make better? So although these are numerical, you might get to the review piece and it's like, well, my plan was this, but I need to really change the phone calls that I'm having, because I found that when I call people at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm getting much better results than if I call them at 8 a.m. So instead of having a 1 hour block in the morning and the afternoon, I'm just going to do a 2 hour block in the afternoon. So things like that. That's what the remodel and repeat is. Be flexible. Don't look at your plans as concrete, never being able to change that. This is the way that it was set, so it has to be that way. Always check in with your targets, check in with your presumptions, make sure they're correct. You're going to get new information. Things are going to change. So be flexible, be open to changing things, and it's okay. And the repeat piece is, if this is a quarterly target of yours, put things into action multiple times. you don't need to start from scratch each quarter, each week, each day, each year, whatever you're using as far as strategy, but make sure that you make the changes you need. That's the remodel piece after you review the data. So when you're talking about, I want to only work 3 days a week, or I want to make my phone calls during this time, or I'm going to open an office here, make sure you use a strategic approach to test out your assumptions, to make sure the data that you have is correct, the targets that you have that you're working toward are still the targets that you want after working on them. Because sometimes a quarter can be a long time. After 3 months, it's like, I really wanted to work in this market, but after talking with the homeowners, the buyers, it's not as profitable as I thought, or it's going to take me longer than I originally anticipated. Here's how I'm going to tweak my plan so I can still hit my goals, but understanding that it's going to be a longer time period. So for action step here, set a goal or plan an initiative and go through each of these 5 steps. The thing I'll talk about for as far as planning, if you don't have anything that works for you, SMART goals are really good here. I don't really love the acronym, but it works because it's specific, it's measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So those 5 things will help you in your planning piece if you don't have anything that's currently working for your team. So have something that you want to hit. Make it a week, a day, a quarter, whatever time period you want, but put something in place and use these 5 steps in building it. Again, you're not going to spend the same amount of time for each one. You might go back and forth, but think about these frameworks as far as your strategy. So we talked about my values. They are the 5 things that shape my mission. My mission statement: to help as many real estate agents as possible achieve time, location, and financial freedom from their businesses. Because that's what I was able to do, and that's what I want to help as many people as I can get in their business. We do that through providing an amazing client experience for our clients and never stop improving on it. So that's my vision. I want to work with clients, mostly in real estate, who realize and identify that that's what they want from their business by providing something that's best for their clients. So it goes back to that collaborative approach. Is that something that you want? Sometimes I'll talk to somebody who's, I'm already doing great. Why do I need any of this? And if that's your mindset, that's fine. I probably can't help you. But if I'm doing great and I can probably get better, then working together is a way to do that. And that's the vision forward. That's the value proposition. Here is what I can bring. Here's why that matches with what you're interested in. Here's why that's a good fit. So it goes hand in hand with organizational alignment. That's what's important to you, what's important to your clients. Organizational alignment. If you're affiliated with a brokerage, an office, a team, whichever of those best describes your arrangement, how does your brokerage support your mission? What's important to you? What you try to do for your clients? The example that I'll give if it's out of alignment is if you are branding yourself as the luxury agent in your market, but the brokerage you work with talks about the lowest commissions, the availability to list any house, any price point, and that they will take the bottom dollar. It's really hard with that mixed messaging going out to your core clientele. So make sure that the administrative piece, the marketing piece, the branding, the communication, all of that from your organization supports your mission, supports what you want to do, and helps align you with your core clientele. So those are the first 2 pieces. It's the biggest foundation. If you can't get those 2 right, it's borderline impossible to run a successful business, one that has any kind of freedoms. But those are the first 2. The other 3 will come once those 2 are built out. The first is effective ROI, or return on your investment. The easiest way to think about it is, where are you putting your time, your energy, and your money? Time and money, easy. You'll have a dollar amount. You'll have a figure on those things. So usually that's what gets tracked. And that's important because you want to know, if I spend my time here, what are the results? Same if I put my money here, what are the results? You'll hear things like 5x, 10x, 2x. Are those good? It depends. What are you putting out? What are you hoping to get back? And what is the opportunity cost? Is there something you could do instead with that time or money that might have a better return, that might yield better results? So you'll know that by tracking those things. And the piece that people often overlook is the energy or the effort piece, because that's harder to track. You can't necessarily gauge with a number. Well, that took a lot of effort. That was a 6-week. Every day, all my mind, all my energy was put into getting this project done. I wanted to get, over the 6 weeks, I wanted to get 10 listings. So I not only had certain time blocks and I spent so much on advertising, but it was important for me to utilize everyone on my team to get everyone behind us. And that takes a lot of effort. Whereas, I could just mail out letters for those 6 weeks. And again, I might have spent the same amount of time, the same amount of money, but the effort was different. I wasn't on the phone all the time. I wasn't working with everybody in my office. So keeping in mind, what is that energy? What is that effort piece? Client experience. This we talked about a little bit earlier. This goes with any piece of the attraction or the retention piece of bringing in new business, as well as serving the clients that you have. So the 3 pieces of it: high level, lead generation. How are people finding out about you? How are you connecting with them? How do they learn about what you do? And that lead conversion piece. They know what you do. They are interested in your service. How do you convert them from a lead to a prospect to a client? And once they become a client, how do you fulfill them or provide them the service they're looking for? Challenge elimination. Problems are going to come up in your business. What are you doing to solve them once they come up? Challenge is a cute term for opportunity, problem, issue, whatever you want to call it. But really, problems are going to happen whether they are foreseeable or not. How do you solve them? So if your 5 principles, pick one of these. If you have questions about the first 2, you don't have a mission statement, or you're not sure of your value proposition to your core clients, start there. Or your organizational alignment, how your brokerage supports you, focus on one of those 2 and just write for 15 minutes. Well, what do you think? What's working well? What could be improved? What you might be missing? What you would like to do more of, less of, start doing, stop doing, and just look back on it every quarter, every few months, and say, okay, this is what I was hoping to get done. How am I making sure that all 5 of these things are front and center of my business? And then lastly, we talked about that challenge elimination. This is the 5-step framework. I've got situation and solution highlighted because oftentimes when we have a problem, it's like, well, what's the problem? That's the situation. What's the answer? How do we solve it? What's the solution? And that's it. And as we're seeing, it's only 40% or 2 of the 5 steps. I like to tell a couple of different little corny stories here to highlight these 5 steps, but they work and people seem to like them. So in The Speed of Trust, great book, he talks about a situation where there's a donut vendor in New York City who just sold coffee and donuts from a little cart on the street before work each morning, and that he was running into an issue where it would become 9 o'clock or close to 9 o'clock or just after. The people at the end of his line, the end of his queue, had to leave line because they couldn't get served before they had to be in their offices. So he was losing this potential business. So the solution that most people jump to when they hear that is, well, we need to hire more employees, have more locations, throw money at the problem, which may or may not have worked, but we don't know the real reason for it. And the reason that was that solution was not that it was that there wasn't enough options for them. There was actually, they were waiting in line because there were some people with more sophisticated orders, specialized donuts or coffee, that took them longer. And some people in line just wanted basic, something that didn't need to be cooked to order. So what he did instead was, off to the side of his cart, he had just regular coffee, regular donuts, no specialty sandwiches or anything like that. So for anybody who wanted to just quickly come serve themselves the coffee and donuts, regular, what was available, they could take it, leave money in the cup, and then go on their way. So then the second part was, well, how do we know that they're going to pay for it? Aren't they going to take the change, or are they not going to put any money at all? These are real concerns. Again, should we hire somebody to oversee that? Well, he didn't. He had the trust in his business, in his client. And what happened was he didn't have anybody leaving his line, and he had such a higher return on what he was making, and he didn't add any money to his cost or to his operation. Instead, he provided a solution that worked, because the situation was people were not getting their order, their coffee, their donuts in time. And the reason for it was some people's orders took longer than others because of what they were ordering. So if he had 2 different options, not more, that he could provide a solution that worked. So the reason, get them out of there, depending on what they were ordering, target, make sure everybody gets their order by the time they have to be out to their desk. The solution here, put the donuts or coffee to the side as opposed to throw money at the problem. Aftermath, people are happier, people are not leaving line, and he's got higher profits. So there's something in your business that you would like solved, some problem that is nagging at you, something that you would like updated, answered, problem gone. So define what's going on, and define it in a way that you could explain to somebody who doesn't work in your business, somebody who doesn't know anything about real estate. Perhaps think about it like talking to a 5-year-old that this is such a problem, or this is an issue in my business because, and you explain to somebody who has no idea. That is a good starting point. That's where the situation needs to be to put the proper solution in place. So what? Well, this is cool, but not for me. I know someone who might. Well, if you know anybody who might be interested, share this recording with them. Always happy to answer questions or connect to them if that's useful. This is cool, but not right now. Okay, whenever you're ready, we're here. If it's not right now because you're too busy, well, you're probably always going to be too busy, so that's not a good enough excuse. This is cool, but this can't help me because I'm already doing great, and that's it. Okay, you're probably right again, that if you don't think there's room for improvement, you're right. The other side of that's also true. If you think there's always room to improve, you're also right. So let's talk. What does working together look like? We have one-on-one engagements. That's where most of my clients and I work together. We also have workshops like this. There's scorecards, assessments, other resources. And then we'll talk a little bit here the last 10 minutes of our presentation about partnering at eXp Realty if that's of interest. So what's next? Check out this link, scan the QR code, takes you to all those complimentary resources. We've got a digital course, we've got other workshops, and also you can schedule a call with me if you're interested in learning about next steps. Last thing I wanted to talk about is my partnership with AccomplishedRE with eXp. We have partnered with Real Estate B School, Game Changers at eXp. Won't get into too much what that means, but these are amazing organizations that work with building up and bettering real estate agents' businesses to help them thrive and succeed in a market like this, as we are seeing things shift all of the time. It has taken my business to an absolute new level, and I could not be happier about it. And that's because my partnership with Stacy Peterson at eXp. Stacy is an incredible partner. She is a wonder in real estate. She had her own team. Had amazing production, as you can see, over 300 sides her final year. She sold that business because her true passion was working with other agents and helping them run the businesses that they want to achieve the things we talked about today: time, location, and financial freedom. Stacy and I connected, and I heard her on this podcast here that I listed it because of the way that it worked out. I was in my car listening to this podcast, and like any normal weirdo, she was asked a question about solving her problems for her clients, and I blurt out the answer because that's what weirdos do. And as I'm done, and Stacy answers the question much more eloquently than me, but we had very similar responses. I was like, I need to connect with this person, and we just gelled. And we have so many of the similar approaches when it comes to building a great real estate team operation. And we've worked really well together, and I couldn't be happier. It's taken my business to a whole new level, and anybody who's interested in it, I would love for you to check it out. So the last thing that we have here, just a brief video explaining what working at eXp is like. We'll include this in the recording as well.
Welcome to eXp Realty. This is an overview of one of the most innovative real estate brokerage models today. A global community designed, powered, and owned by our agents and partners, transforming the real estate experience. Our family of agents build their own businesses while having equity opportunities in eXp World Holdings. As technology has transformed entertainment, hospitality, transportation, and retail, it's now transforming the real estate industry. There's been little to no innovation with the old-fashioned real estate models. Franchise brokerages all start with a company at the top, which feeds down to regions, followed by offices or market centers, followed by a local manager or team leader. The focus was on the brokerage and their brand, not on the agent and their business. The evolution of real estate brokerages has always been driven by how agents get paid. This can be clearly seen with eXp's growth compared to old-fashioned models. At eXp Realty, we've eliminated old-fashioned bloat by removing franchises, territories, brick and mortar, and redundant layers of management. By doing this, we've created opportunity to give equity back to the agents and have made the agent the focal point of their business. We do this by having multiple income opportunities within our model and leveraging our fully immersive cloud office environment where agents enjoy 24/7 access to state-of-the-art collaborative tools, coaching, support, and socialization. eXp Realty continues to experience consistent record-breaking year-over-year growth with a mission to reach 1 million agents globally. It all began in the United States and Canada, with eXp Realty perfecting the model over the first 10 years, laying the foundation for our global expansion. Our international footprint now expands over 6 of the 7 continents. Our core values define our culture and ensure decisions are always aligned, like being agile allows us to make adjustments at any time for our agents and their clients. eXp is at the forefront of technology. Every agent gets their own lead generation CRM system called KV Core. For a non-eXp agent, it could cost over $5,000 a year. This industry-leading system provides you with a behavioral-driven, personalized IDX website, CRM, email, and text campaigns. You'll always be notified of your contact's behavior, helping you convert and close more transactions. SkySlope allows agents to manage their business totally paperless. This all-in-one transaction management system helps you effortlessly stay organized with your transactions. All of your important data is contained on one detailed checklist, so you have everything in one place. One of our top priorities is building our own technology. Our back-office business intelligence center gives agents both autonomy and great visibility into their business. Within your dashboard, you'll be able to monitor your performance metrics, commissions, revenue share, equity awards, transactions, and more. Whether you need a quick postcard or a full presentation, the eXp Marketing Center has it all. You can edit marketing collateral within minutes by choosing from over 5,000 marketing pieces. In fact, when a new listing is added to your MLS, you'll get an email with marketing items created automatically for your listing. Welcome to eXp World, our three-dimensional virtual cloud-based office environment. Meet, learn, and collaborate with agents and staff from anywhere with an internet connection. Join a meeting or training within a community via your phone, tablet, or computer. In eXp World, agents get real-time live support from our over 1,000 full-time staff members. Access over 80 hours of live training weekly in eXp World. Our training focuses on industry best practices, how to grow profitable real estate business, professional development, and much more. These sessions are taught not only by our highly experienced training department professionals, but also by our top producing agents and teams from around the world. eXp Realty agents also have access to Workplace by Facebook, which is a dedicated and secure working space to connect, communicate, and collaborate with other agents and eXp staff. You'll be able to use familiar Facebook features like newsfeed, groups, messages, and events to get things done quickly and efficiently. We understand that some agents enjoy the office setting from time to time, which is why every agent at eXp gets a global membership to Regus shared offices and their new brand spaces. Regus offers 3,000 office locations in over 900 cities in 120 countries. Every agent at eXp has the opportunity to become a shareholder in eXp World Holdings. Earn equity awards for closing your first transaction each year, capping each year, and every time an agent you attracted joins eXp and does their first transaction. Our Agent Equity Program helps agents prepare for retirement. You can elect to take 5% of your gross commission per transaction and buy the company's stock at a 10% discount. Our ticker symbol is EXPI. Note that some stock awards are subject to vesting. eXp's Icon Agent Program is unmatched within the industry. Our founder, Glenn Sanford, strongly believes that top producing agents should be rewarded for their contribution. There are two ways to qualify for Icon status: $5,000 paid in post-cap transaction fees, or $500,000 annual GCI with a minimum of 10 closed transactions. When you achieve Icon status, you'll receive 100% of your cap that you paid to eXp back in the form of company stock, essentially putting you at a 100% commission split. One of the most exciting aspects of our compensation plan is our revenue sharing model, which allows you to build a monthly leveraged income by attracting productive agents to the company. Here's a breakdown of how the revenue sharing model works. Tier 1 contains the agents that you personally attracted to the brokerage. For each transaction on this tier, you'll get 3.5% of their total commission. This amount is taken out of eXp's 20%, not out of the agent's 80% commission. Once the agent has hit their annual cap, they start receiving 100% of their commissions. You therefore no longer receive income from their deals for the remainder of the year, which is why the max you can earn on this tier per agent is $2,800. You can earn on all 7 tiers, but it's contingent upon how many agents you've personally attracted to the brokerage and their level of production. For example, if you attract 5 producing agents, you earn exponential share in commissions on Tier 1 and Tier 2, which are agents that your Tier 1 agents attracted. If you attracted 10 producing agents, you earn exponential share in commissions on Tier 1, Tier 2, and also on Tier 3, which are agents that your Tier 2 agents attracted. On Tiers 4 through 7, you'll still receive a reduced share in commissions, which is called our expansion sharing. So let's go through a quick example of how you can create a monthly leveraged income through the revenue share program. Here's you. You personally attract 5 capping agents. Then, each of those 5 agents attract 5 capping agents of their own, giving you 5 agents of Tier 1 and 25 agents on Tier 2. For the 5 capping agents on Tier 1, you earn up to $2,800 each. And for the 25 capping agents on Tier 2, you earn up to $3,200 each, giving you an annual leveraged income of up to $94,000. But note that these figures are based on each one of these agents capping, which is approximately selling $2.7 million of real estate per year with an average commission of 3%. You can speak to an eXp agent or staff member for further explanation. Express offers a revolutionary new home selling option for homeowners who want to skip the hassle and uncertainty of a traditional home sale. The platform connects sellers with institutional buyers who can pay cash and close quickly. Unlike other iBuyer platforms, Express Offers allows agents to receive real estate commissions. At eXp, you'll never pay a desk fee, royalty fee, or franchise fee. Every agent is treated equally and is on an 80-20 split, which caps each year at $16,000. You then receive 100% commission for the remainder of your year. Here's the amazing part. It's only $149 to join eXp, and that includes your first month's $85 brokerage fee. On each transaction, there's a $25 broker review fee and a $40 risk management fee. The risk management fee caps at $500 each year. We're also excited to announce that we've added a low-cost healthcare alternative. Our agents get a one-on-one virtual consultation to ensure they've selected the right plan. eXp Realty continues to set industry records, becoming the #1 independent brokerage in the U.S. for closed transactions. For more information, reach out to the agent who shared this video with you.
So we're right at the 45-minute mark. I don't see any questions in the chat. Thank you all for attending. Again, here's a QR code for the complimentary resources, our digital course, connecting directly with me. Say the link will take you there as well. So thank you for attending, and look forward to next time.